Hi, welcome to my channel. This is my first video, so I'll give you a bit of a rundown about myself and what the channel's about. So I'm 24 years old. I've been into art all my life, but I didn't really seriously get into it until the COVID pandemic, where I started selling art as a part-time thing to pay some bills. And how I got decent at painting was by, of course, painting to practice, but also reading a lot of books about artists that I liked and studying their processes. And one of my favorite types of artwork is abstract art. So that sort of ties into what the channel's about. I'll be doing essentially an abstract painting as a visual expression of what I'm tasting and experiencing as I eat the food. So, hope you like the video. Hope you can put up with my bumbling as I go through this first video. So for those of you who don't know what a Crunchwrap is, it's kind of a tortilla with a bunch of different stuff wrapped up in it. That's what it looks like. Not the best example. They sort of munched up the middle there. But yeah, let's get started. So the first thing that really stands out to me is the lettuce. It's actually pretty crisp for a fast food place, which is surprising. So let me go through all my colors here. Probably something cool with some crisp brush stroke. With some with some crisp brush strokes to express the crispness of this lettuce. So what I went with was Beryl Green. Pretty much my favorite color, and I figured it'd be a great color to start with on my first video. And I think for the brush strokes, I'll use a simple standard flathead brush here. And, you know, something crisp would be pretty light, quick. At least that's how I'd describe it in a painting, especially if it's abstract. So, without further ado, let's get this painting started. So the lettuce, we're going to go. And this paint I'm a big fan of. It's called Turner Acrylic Gouache. It's really highly pigmented acrylic paint. It's pretty easy to see even on a black canvas. You need minimum paint for some good opaque coverage. Do some more sort of quick, crisp strokes here. Maybe some longer ones too. Get some sort of energy into the painting. And I'm using the edge of the brush here because it's a nice thin stroke for a lighter sort of expression here. And I want to get the majority of the canvas. I don't like to leave a ton of empty space, but we'll see. Alright, I think that's sufficient enough. Take another bite here. So the next thing standing out to me really is the beef. It's that Taco Bell grade D stuff that they probably get from sewer rats, but tastes pretty good. Spiced well. I'd say to describe that in an abstract painting. I think a crimson color would be pretty good. It's almost brown. That's a lower energy red. Pretty heavy, I'd say. And for the brush strokes, I want something a little more authoritative than the light bristly strokes we've got for the lettuce. So I think I'm going to go with another flathead, but this one is going to be a thicker, more aggressive brush, I guess. And for the strokes, we're going to do nice, long, heavy ones. Geometric. Let's paint here. Maybe fill out some more of that space we didn't get with the lettuce. Just fine. Take another bite here. So the next thing that stands out to me is the cheese. Pretty mellow. It's Taco Bell cheese. I don't know, I think it's just regular cheddar, but we'll go with another lower energy color for that. Some organic shapes, not necessarily just lines, to express the mellowness of the cheese. Say this Aqua Blue would be pretty good expressing that. And for some more organic shapes, I'm going to use one of these mop head brushes and sort of work my way around the canvas. I'm not going to do anything like Bob Ross where he makes bushes with these brushes. It's going to be just softer, organic shapes. And, you know, to make it all cohesive, we'll sort of work around the reds here. This paint dries pretty fast, so maybe a little S-curve here. Blend it in with that red a bit. I think I'm going to have to figure out the end composition as we work through this, but I don't want it to just be sort of floating in the center there, so we'll add some more stuff to the edge here. Make it a little bit more cohesive. And for the composition, I sort of, as I was going, I think I'd like to have it be more color on this side, a little dark on this side, so it sort of guides your eye in either direction. So the next thing for me is probably the tomato. And that's sort of a higher energy flavor. You get the burst of the water from the tomato and a nice, almost umami. I don't know if that's the correct word for it, but for this tomato, I think a higher energy color such as either a coral red or a yellow or an orange splattered on might be pretty good. So we'll go with a yellow. We'll go with the yellow. So let's see. Oh, even better. We'll go with the yellow orange. It's called permanent yellow orange. Very high energy color. And this brush should be pretty good for splattering. I'm going to wet the paint down a bit with water so it's not quite as thick. So let's see, we'll work our way through this canvas here. Get a little bit over here, but I'm going to make it a lot more dense on this side here. Paint off my fingers so that I don't eat it with my Taco Bell. Should be good enough. So the tortilla is another more soft, mellow taste. Almost melts in your mouth. Not quite because it's a tortilla, but we'll go with another more mellow color for that. I think the Aqua Blue is already pretty good, the one I used for the cheese. So we might use that again, but with a different brushstroke pattern. We'll use this. It's another Mop Brush. For the pattern, we don't want to do S-curves again because that's just like what the cheese is. So maybe we'll do something like circles, because it does encompass the food anyway, right? Maybe do a small one here. But we don't want it to overpower the painting, because the tortilla doesn't really overpower any of the other ingredients. It'll do a little, keep the circles at least relatively to a minimum. Couple here. Make them get smaller as they go to this corner, so this painting's got at least a little bit of direction here. Okay. Another bite here. So the last thing that's on there, and you almost can't even taste it because, I don't know if it's because I picked it up and I've been eating it so slow it's become soggy, but the big tortilla chip in the middle, for that, I can't even really tell what it tastes like at this point, so I'd say probably another low energy color, but I don't want to use that blue for a third time, so we'll go with magenta. I think that should express it pretty well. And for the brushstroke pattern, like I said, I couldn't even really taste it. So probably something pretty not noticeable. Something a little more subtle. So we'll do something with this brush, which is a standard point, and sort of work our way through what we've got at this point. Like maybe a little here, a dance around the O's because it's part of the sort of encompassing element of the food. But not super intense, just enough so you can know that it's there. A little bit of that here. Just little tiny half circles is what I'm using. Almost going around some of these brush strokes to show that it's sort of just going with the flow against the other foods in this Crunchwrap. As far as I know, those are all the main ingredients in this Crunchwrap Supreme, but we've also got the Crunchwrap, or the, not the Crunchwrap, the Baja Blast to wash it all down. Can't forget about that. That's definitely a more intense flavor. You got the carbonation, the sugar, the tropical flavor. So, a bit of high energy color for that. And it'll probably also be another splatter, but I'm going to try to get another brush that does a more decidedly powerful splatter. So something with a more firm bristle like this will work just well. Or this will work just fine. And I like to use the Princeton Velvet Touch brushes myself. That's what I've been using for just about all my artwork. So let's go with a poppy red. That's a very bright red. That should be pretty good. Wet it down a bit more. I think this is actually the first time I've used this poppy red since I bought it. So this color is relatively new to me, and it is very bright. And I will rinse this brush off, wipe my hands off. I'll show this to you on the camera too, on the video camera, but I'll get a nice picture for you as well. Oh, I should probably sign it too. Let's see. Sign it in the blue on this corner here. Perfect. All right. So this I call the Crunchwrap Supreme with the Baja Blast Mountain Dew. Thanks for watching my first video. I'll put all my social media links and my Etsy account online. I'll probably put this for sale on there. Might be pretty cheap. All my really passion related projects are a fair bit more expensive, but this is sort of experimental right now, so I'll keep the prices low, especially for the YouTubers. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the video, and of course I'd love to take suggestions, so if you put any comments, I'll try whatever food, preferably fast food. You know, can't really review a steak when it's only one ingredient. I don't think it would make a very good painting, but leave some suggestions in the comments. Let me know how I did. Let me know if there's anything I can improve. And thanks again for watching.